There's a warning a vast area of ice in Antarctica could be about to break off, sending global sea levels higher. Antarctica is the coldest, driest, windiest, most remote continent on Earth and contains 90% of the world's ice.
Life in the freezer has always been perilous, but climate change is a new threat for the animals of Antarctica. Some Adelie penguin populations have halved as temperatures rise. Their future is uncertain. We drove up onto the melting ice in an ageing snowcat.
So this vehicle has its
Mike Bryan runs Rothera, British Antarctic Survey's biggest research base. Scientists have been monitoring the area for several decades.
As I looked at the coastline to the left and to the right of here, and that's a very clear picture that coastline, that ice coast, is melting back on an annual basis. And to the right of us there are areas where it's melted by more than a kilometre in the last 30 years. To the left of us there are places where it's been double that in those years.
Antarctica's ice sheet is up to 3 miles deep and so immense that it contains more than 2/3 of all the fresh water on the planet. The frozen continent has been slow to respond to global warming, but now it's catching up. Antarctica has lost 3 trillion tons of ice over the last 25 years. Half of that has been in the last 5. But it's what could happen next that really alarms scientists. Scientists don't know what impact the changing climate will have on Antarctica's marine mammals, from elephant seals to whales. They're part of a food chain that ultimately depends on shrimp like krill. But the tiny creatures need ice to survive, and they're having to migrate ever further towards the pole to find it.
If their food supply moves their way, then they will follow that food supply, and if their food supply relies on krill and that krill disappears. So that's why it's really important to understand those links through the food chain, through the ecosystem, who eats who, how much they rely on that, so that then we can start to predict the impacts on species like this.
So much of the concern about global warming has been about ice melt on Greenland, but Antarctica is a far bigger threat that scientists are only just beginning to understand. Thomas Moore, Sky News in Rothera, Antarctica.